Now, as you might have heard, voters in Wisconsin have elected a liberal judge to the U.S. state's highest court in what's being seen as a blow to Donald Trump. Susan Crawford's conservative opponent was backed by the president and Elon Musk, who traveled to Wisconsin to give two voters $1 million each for signing a petition against what he called activist judges. The winner, Susan Crawford, is a county judge and a former lawyer for Planned Parenthood who had made abortion a big issue on the campaign trail. As voting took place on Tuesday, election officials at one stage said they'd run out of ballot papers due to what they described as an unprecedented historic voter turnout. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now on the line from London by the Republican strategist and chair of Republicans Overseas UK, Greg Swenson. Greg, great to see you again, and thank you for your patience. We had a bit of a delay coming to you. So Elon Musk's investment in the most expensive judicial contest in US history did not pay off, with the Republican-backed candidate for the state Supreme Court losing. I mean, what do you make of it all?
Yeah, of course, we're disappointed, to say the least, because I thought it was a race that could be possibly won by a Republican. She was only replacing another liberal judge, so this doesn't really change the dynamic dramatically. But it is an activist court. It's a court that's tried to rewrite laws from the bench, and I think that they will be quite capable of doing that in the near term. They'll probably do some gerrymandering, which means they can redraw the maps, the electoral maps in Wisconsin. And given that it's pretty much a 50-50 state, it's a purple state. It did go for Trump in the election this year, but it's often a Democrat state. So, this is not a good moment for Republicans. We are not very good at these midterm and off-year elections, especially special elections like this one. So we don't have the get out the vote game that the Democrats have, in spite of Elon Musk trying to encourage people to vote. And so, we saw this with Mark Zuckerberg in 2020, where he threw a lot of money into the election and really focused on Democrat precincts in terms of getting out the vote. So, big money rules in some of these elections. And yeah, again, disappointed in what's happened there.
But I'm curious, Greg, because, I mean, you know a lot more about these things than we do. I mean, why was Wisconsin so important? Why was so much money thrown into a judicial election?
Yeah, it was important, and it's because the judicial system in Wisconsin lends itself to activist judges basically rewriting law or legislating from the bench. So this is a state where 10 years ago, Scott Walker, the governor, the Republican governor, was able to rewrite some laws through the right process, through the legislature, and make really great improvements to Wisconsin, including balancing the budget and making sure that public employee unions weren't able to fleece the state or the state budget. And now what we have is 7 judges that, yes, they are liberal. The majority is liberal, the 4-3 majority, but they are going to be legislating from the bench and basically rewriting the laws. It shouldn't be up to judges to make law and to decide policy. That should be up to the legislature and, of course, the governor. But in this case, we have a very activist court. They are powerful in Wisconsin. It's probably bordering on unconstitutional when they do, essentially legislate from the bench. But this would have been much easier if the Republicans had won that seat. So I'm a little bit disappointed.
Like that. It clearly would have been much easier for you, I bet, certainly in terms of the many interviews you give across the world. But I mean, seriously, is there one big message, Greg, that we can take from this vote in Wisconsin following this substantial win for the Liberal candidate? And is that message that we did see a reaction against President Trump?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm surely there's going to be ups and downs in terms of the polling, but the polling nationally indicates to us that the president's doing really well. He's polling at 50, where he only polled at the top, and his best moment in his first term, he only polled at 47. So 50 in a 50-50 country is pretty good. But more importantly, the things that he's doing are polling really well. Mass deportations polling at 70, mass deportation of criminal illegal migrants with extra criminal records, that's polling at 80. So so he's really fixed the border. He's reduced the illegal migrant incomings by 94%. I mean, it's outrageous what he's been able to accomplish in a short amount of time. What Elon Musk is doing at Doge, cleaning up corruption, waste, and fraud in the federal government, that's polling in the 60s. So things are looking good in America right now, but it's really difficult to manage these swing states. It only takes a few thousand votes to move an election. And again, I think the Democrats, my hat's off to them. They do a much better job of getting out the vote in these off-year elections. Republicans tend to only vote in big numbers when there's a presidential election. It's unfortunately only every 4 years. So I think that we have some work to do on focusing on these small elections in kind of in many ways remote places. But I think it's important, and I think Wisconsin will swing to the left because these judges will rewrite the congressional districts. So right now, there's a great risk that we could lose a few congressional seats in the House.
Greg, thank you very much indeed. Greg Swenson is the Republican strategist and chair of Republicans Overseas UK. He was talking to me on the line there from London.